It's 7:30, we're going to go ahead and call the meeting to order.
Mr. Holmes. Here. Mrs. Miller.
Here.
Mr. Miller. Mr. Troyer. Here. Mrs. Swain.
Here. As always, we'll operate under consent agenda. We do have two guests signed in to speak. Just as a reminder, you have 3 minutes, and if you aren't finished at 3 minutes, I'll just give you a high five to stop. For you.
I just want to briefly thank you all for inviting the public here to share this safety assessment today. I saw it on the website, and that's great that you invite the public to the meeting to hear what you all have to say and share with us.
Good morning, my name is Tara Schlewa. Before the presentation begins, I'd like to respectfully address the board. I want to be really clear, I support bringing in third-party experts like TMG Security, Consultants and Litigation Services, LLC. Independent review matters, and process improvements going forward are important, but today cannot be limited to what we'll do differently next time without honestly confronting what failed that day and who was responsible for those decisions. The process did not fail on September 23rd, judgment did. My concern today is not that the review will be inaccurate, but that it will be incomplete. There is a real risk that this presentation focuses heavily on future protocols, flowcharts, training improvements, while quietly bypassing the most important question the public deserves answered, and that is why were existing protocols not followed when the threat was active and ongoing. I understand that certain security specifics cannot be discussed in public session, which is absolutely appropriate. But that limitation does not prevent this board from asking in public the hard questions that establish accountability. Questions like, who specifically made the decisions on September 23rd not to lock down Berlin, not to secure other buildings, never to alert teachers and staff, and to withhold this information from parents all day while a mentally unstable individual with a history of drugs and weapons charges was on the loose for 4 hours. On October 7th, the court issued a no contact order between East Holmes and the intruder. Why were no staff provided this information with instructions to alert administration or the police until 3 days ago, despite innumerable requests? For context, neighboring districts did this months ago in the absence of a no contact order because it's basic common sense. Why did leadership withhold key information to equip our staff and protect themselves and our children? Why? Those questions do not compromise litigation. They do not expose sensitive tactics. They do not undermine safety. What those questions do is demonstrate that this board is willing to govern, not just receive presentations. Softball questions followed by an executive session discussion may satisfy process, but they do not satisfy public trust. The board does not need to litigate today, but it does need to show visibly that it understands the gravity of what happened and is willing to objectively and publicly examine leadership decisions that put students and staff at serious risk. Accountability does not weaken organizations. Avoiding it does. I urge the board to use this presentation not as a shield, but as a tool, and to please ask the difficult questions out loud in this room on the public record, because our children and our staff deserve nothing less. Thank you.
Thank you both for sharing. Move into approval of minutes. Recommend the board approve the minutes of the regular meeting of November 21, 2025.
I move to approve.
I'll second. Mr. Holmes. Yes. Mrs. Miller.
Yes.
Mr. Troyer. Yes. Mrs. Swain.
Yes. Recommend the board the agenda, I just wanted to take a few minutes to publicly recognize and thank Laurel for her great years of service over the last 4 years. You served and led with grace, integrity, and wisdom, bringing your perspective, not just as a mother, but also as a professional. And I think I can speak on behalf of the board and Danny, just saying, expressing my sincere gratitude for your service.
Thank you. I've been honored to serve the community in this role, and I've had the privilege of working alongside some truly wonderful and high integrity people, Eric Bune and Danny Ryan, and board members who are deeply committed to our students and our schools. And I know that the future of East Holmes is bright because of what makes our community great, and that is the people who live here. And I'm looking forward to witnessing that in the years to come.
Well, welcome everybody. It's almost Christmas break. We appreciate everybody being here this morning. We'll start off by recognizing our WKLM Students of the Week. At Highland, Alyssa Yoder, Nora Bickle, Jacob Miller, and Lily Yoder. And we'll go ahead and move right into our building supervisor report. So Mr. Wilson, you want or Mr. Renner, you guys want to arm wrestle for it?
Good morning. So just a few updates, curriculum testing wise and federal programs. The one needs assessment is well underway. This is the precursor for filing for federal funds. And this process that we're in right now occurs once every 3 years. It involves a top to bottom analysis of our curriculums, our testing results, and everything in between. The goal of that then is to have 3 goals that we can submit and actively track over the next 3 years to help lead our improvement process. Department and grade level meetings are well underway as far as planning. Those will kick off in February, but we're going to be spending quite a bit of time looking specifically at student data, trying to ensure that staff-wide, when we're looking at data, we're all talking the same thing. Sometimes if you get slightly different interpretations of that data, it can skew things right or left, so just an opportunity for us to all kind of land on the same page there. And then linking what we find in that data to our current resources and interventions, and working to continue improving those. High school juniors this year will take the ACT in a digital format, and so the kickoff for that is going to happen January 6th. We'll have a mock session just with the teachers to make sure our technology and everything is where it needs to be for the actual testing day. Preparation for kindergarten registration, OELPA, which is our English Language Learners Assessment, and our alternate OELPA are well underway as well. And just as an update, we continue to see really good things from the 95% group intervention components that we're using in Title I. And not to take a lot of time, but had the opportunity to observe a couple lessons there over the past couple weeks. And one of our English learner students actually said, "Why didn't you teach me this like 2 years ago?" It's making sense to him. And he said, point blank, like, "I feel like I know how to read now." So just a positive for the work the title staff is doing.
A couple of things from middle and high school. This week we had our main choir concerts, and Mr. Rurick and Ms. Summers did a great job preparing our students, and a special thank you to our custodians who did a great job setting everything up. There's a lot of moving pieces during these weeks, and they did a great job there. Yesterday we had our leadership students out at Walnut Hills for our seniors versus seniors card games, board games, and everything else there. And we actually had a kid spend about 40 minutes with one of the residents helping her set up her computer. It was a pretty sweet interaction between the two of them, and really cool to see. And then finally, I'd just like to wish everyone up here Merry Christmas. Laurel, thank you for everything that you've done, and thank you to all of you for what you guys do for the community and school students.
Good morning. Bear with me, I'm losing my voice Christmas time is always so much fun in elementary schools with our students. But just want to recognize a few things here. Mr. Larry Compton, he was an administrator at Airway Schools years ago, retired, but did come into Chestnut Ridge and did a presentation, excuse me, on Native American artifacts. If you've ever met Mr. Compton, he does a lot of traveling and has an extensive collection of arrowheads, tools, actual clothing, and so forth, and brings it in and answers questions and does a really nice job. Met with our 3rd and 4th grade students and has done that in the past, so thanks Mr. Compton for coming in. As we look into Christmas time, there's a lot of fun things happening, and I got to go into Mrs. Slayball's first grade classroom. She invited me, said, make sure you're here for this. They did a reader's theater on the gingerbread man. And it was a way for those first graders to show their reading skills, what they're learning, but also having fun with it. And seeing some of the little kids and they're chasing each other around the room, and they presented to the other kindergarten first grade classrooms. So that's some fun things. That was kind of fun to do. And as Tyler mentioned before, our music programs are huge during the month of December. Mrs. Crasser does a really nice job with our elementary music programs, so give her a big thank you. But it is a team effort. Our custodians are putting things together, the teachers put in time in the evenings to be there to watch the students and get ready to come on the stage, and then we had little houses. It's just nice to see our community come together for this program. They do a really, really nice job. And then finally, I want to thank Sarah Summers, music teacher at Highland, for bringing the varsity singers to Chestnut Ridge. Our students, they really put the program put on. Thanks, Laurel, for everything you've done. And Merry Christmas, everybody. Hope to have a good couple of weeks here at the term.
Good morning. 3 things for Walnut Creek and Whitesburg. Number 1, we did have our music programs. Whitesburg was Tuesday, December 9th. Walnut Creek was Thursday, December 4th. Walnut Creek, we originally had it scheduled earlier here at Highland, but we actually had it back at Walnut Creek Elementary School for the first time in years. We loved it, so something we may do in the future. And Mrs. Brewer does a great job of leading our students with a calm demeanor, gets the best out of our kids. Number 2, I want to thank Tyler and the high school leadership team for the Christmas Carnival. Whitesburg 2nd grade and 3rd grade, Walnut Creek 2nd grade participated. Very highly organized, very highly entertaining for our kids. We loved it. And then thirdly, I can't remember if I've given this gentleman a shout out before, but he definitely deserves it. Cody Herzog, our bus coordinator. Many times with all the moving parts we've had with music programs, calling Cody, hey Cody, could you tell your bus drivers to come pick the kids up a little bit earlier? And he's always, yeah, I got it. Not sure what he says when he hangs up the phone, but definitely appreciate him helping get us get stuff done. He's always willing to do it, so thank you.
Good morning. I don't have Christmassy things to share with you this morning, but I wanted to tell you a little bit just briefly about 2 agencies who work with our students here, and I feel we're so fortunate to get that experience, and I just wanted to tell you a little more about them. One of those is the Ohio School for the Blind and Deaf. They're based out of Columbus, but their educational outreach team travels all over the state to support students who are either visually impaired or hearing impaired to help do evaluations. They will observe students in classrooms to give recommendations and suggestions. They are able to provide loaner equipment and other resources that are needed. Currently, we have 1 student in Claridge and 1 student in Berlin who's taking advantage of these resources. So that is one, and then the other one is through Tri-County ESC. Their educational audiologist, Christine, she is so busy. She serves 3 counties, but when we have the opportunity to have her here, she is able to do a wide variety of hearing assessments that I definitely do not understand all the ins and outs of, but she is able to kind of pick apart those inner ear things and do evaluations. And then she comes to IEP meetings, explains those to parents, offers further suggestions. She also is a big fan of like the Try Before You Buy, and she has relationships with Ocali, which is the Center for Autism and Low Incidence Disabilities, and they also can give us loaner equipment like personal FM systems or classroom amplification systems so that we can try them with kids to be sure they work, to do what we think they should do before we spend money to have those here permanently. So we are just really grateful to have these experts in their field who are able to support our
students. And I didn't say this before, but I think we have 6 to 8 students who are working with the educational methodologies. Thank you.
Good morning. The Valley had their Christmas program yesterday, and thank you again to the custodians. And I think Highland, they let us use the center, and they had this stuff set up for Wednesday night, so that made it a little bit easier yesterday morning. Left it up, and then we're done yesterday after our program. But Mrs. Scrotzer, thank you for 3 programs, like Mr. Littleworth said. And the funny part is the weather in December has been kind of crazy. We had an extra practice at Y scheduled on, I think, December 2nd, and also this past Monday. And both of those got wiped out with snow days. So the anxiety level went up a little bit. She said, oh, they'll be fine. And it was good. So that worked out well. So for the last 2 days, we had Christmas parties also at Wise and Flat Ridge. And the last 2 days have been beautiful for bikes and parents to get there at Flat Ridge and so forth. So appreciate it. Or that was a good time too. Kids really enjoyed their class parties for about an hour and a half on Wednesday afternoon. And Mr. Woodward also mentioned gingerbread man. And at Flat Ridge, we have a kindergarten class this year that has, I would say, higher than our normal English skills. And they had a gingerbread man that's probably a foot and a half tall. And he goes all over the building. And, everybody gets accused of, did you move the gingerbread man? And they're just so excited when they find him the next day. And sometimes he'll move 2 or 3 times a day. So that's some excitement for the month of December to get her first grade. And I also want to mention that the 3rd grade test scores arrived on Monday online, and gives Mr. Cook and the title teachers at Flat Ridge some time to plan interventions so we can start moving in January. So I see those this week. Thank you, Laurel, and everybody. Merry Christmas.
Good morning, everyone. I also would like to thank Mallory, Zach, and Sarah for the Christmas programs. They have lots on their plate, practicing snow days and stuff, and they came off very, very nicely. Thanks to Vicki and Mr. Bune. This is my first Christmas program in all of my years due to sickness, so thanks for them stepping in and helping me with that. Yesterday, today, lots of parties going on for Christmas. So kids are excited, teachers are excited. It's just a great time of year. First grade yesterday, and our Title staff finished their Christmas around the world, where students travel to different places and learn about how Christmas is celebrated in New Zealand, Germany, South Africa, India. So they just an exciting time to listen to the stories that they tell you. Varsity singers were also out, so thanks to Sarah for allowing them to come out to sing to us. And we are preparing now for February, which is Leadership Night, which my Lighthouse team, filled with 12 students, are planning an evening to teach leadership skills to parents and so looking forward to Christmas break, getting back into it. I also would like to thank Laurel for all your hard work, and Merry Christmas to the board.
I echo the principal's stories about the Christmas activities going on. I've been able to be a part of that, and what joy-filled moments those are, from the concerts to all the activities. So thank you for all that you do. The staff goes so out of their way, and truly those are the things that our kids, I think, will remember the rest of their lives. Laurel, you sure will be missed. Thank you for your service to this community and to the board. And to the board and your community, have a wonderful Christmas and holiday, and to our community as well. I just have a couple updates. Currently, we're preparing for some staff development that's coming up in January and February. And we're going to continue some work around success criteria and how that aligns to our instruction assessment and standards at the knowledge levels. We're also going to be working with job descriptions. So I've started that on the HR side of things. I've started to look at aligning our current job descriptions to what the job is now and getting feedback on that so that when we go to post our positions, they're aligned to the current work and hopefully just getting some good alignment, I guess, just across the district. So that'll be a project that'll take a little bit, but starting with the jobs that we'll be filling this spring. And then lastly, I was able, thank you to Eric, to attend a community cares meeting. I think that was a week or 2 weeks ago now, which is a wonderful organization.
it's a series of wraparound, I guess just wraparound groups and supports throughout Holmes County. And I learned a great deal, and it has already helped our district in connecting with Holmes County Sheriff's Department has started a new program that they have hired someone to help and support students who might be struggling with attendance issues. And we also learned about some parenting programs and some programs for students who might need a different kind of plan and support. So that's been wonderful already, and I appreciate that alignment because I think it's already helped us being that quick. So have a wonderful holiday, everyone. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody. As David Morgan comes forward here, just really appreciate David being here this morning and his work. Give us just such helpful feedback over the last couple of months, and also his partnership with the Sheriff's Office as well, and including everybody's feedback. Being a part of that for all of those visits and lots of discussions and stuff has taken such an important event that happened at Berkeley, and really continuing to use it as such an important learning opportunity as we move forward. So, David, I appreciate not only what you've done in terms of the report, but also both yours and the Sheriff's Office work immediately after and participating in our debrief, in the day or two after, and asking many of those tough questions in those meetings as we continue to learn. So, David, please.
Thank you very much. Again, my name is David Morgan. As you said, you got my company's name entirely correct. Let me just, if I can, and not to boast, but just kind of go through my background just a little bit so you're aware of kind of the expertise that I do bring to doing these assessments. So I was in the FBI for 23 years, retired in 2019, and immediately went to work for the Stark County ESC in risk mitigation, and worked with all the school districts associated with that Education Service Center, in addition to other districts throughout Northern Ohio on security planning and crisis management stuff, the same kind of issues that we're addressing here in this assessment. After 3 years there, kind of went back out, worked for a law firm for 1 year, and then went out on my own. And since that time, I've been doing school investigations across the state for teacher misconduct, student misconduct, and also these security assessments. I also have engagements, or had an engagement this summer with FIFA for the Club World Cup. It was in Cincinnati, and for the last 4 years, I've been working with the NFL in NFL security. So all those things do allow me to kind of pick and pull from those experiences to do these assessments, but also the invaluable time that I had when I was at Stark County ESC. I thought I knew what it was like to be inside of the school because I had 3 kids that went to school, but I had no idea what it was until I started working there. So, but I do want to thank you for the opportunity to be here this morning. My role today is to provide a brief public update on the safety and security threat assessment completed for the district after the September incident at Berlin Elementary. Following that incident, the district requested that I perform an independent district-wide safety and security review to identify strengths and areas of improvement and to provide practical recommendations to reduce risk to the students and staff. Before I get into those points, as you had mentioned, I want to explain how I'm going to handle the specific details from that threat assessment. School safety is different than most topics that are discussed in a public setting. And if I list specific vulnerabilities or specific recommendations in this setting, that information does not just inform you guys, but it can be misused. And so for that reason, I'll be purposefully vague and will focus on the big picture, what was working well, the categories of vulnerabilities identified, and general discussions and recommendations provided. The scope of the assessment covered all 8 school buildings and safety and security issues for staff and students during the school day. The assessment was conducted using multiple inputs. Each principal was provided a 58-question survey, which focused on independent incident response, physical security, policies and procedures, and training. On-site walkthroughs were conducted at each building and were completed with district leadership and the school resource officer. And I do want to take a second to recognize Brent and his input to the assessment. Just the knowledge that he has, being at the school each and every day was invaluable, so I appreciate it. The assessment included a structured review of entry controls, interior and exterior security features, emergency communications, camera coverages, and video access, and the district's crisis response posture. After the assessment was drafted, I provided it to the district administrators for their review and their input. Finally, the assessment's findings and proposed plan of action were briefed to the board. So the first step in conducting the threat assessment was to determine the district's threat environment. In other words, what risks are present in this community. In broad terms, this district's threat profile is relatively low compared to many districts. That's a positive indicator that reflects the standards within this community and the day-to-day environment within the schools. At the same time, the district faces an elevated risk profile due to factors that are unique to this area, including high tourism environment, and non-resident visitors moving through the community. This does not mean the district is necessarily unsafe, but it means the district's security posture must account for this steady flow of people in and around its schools who are not part of the community. Now, the assessment identified several pre-existing security strengths, and I'd like to recognize a few of those right here. First, the partnerships with Holmes County Sheriff's Office is a real asset. When schools and law enforcement train together, communicate routinely, and share expectations, the response to crisis situations improve. Second, the district's leadership is very engaged. Each administrator interviewed during the assessment was knowledgeable about safety and security strengths and weaknesses at their respective buildings. They were also open to suggestions for improvement on defensiveness. Third, there are meaningful measures already in place across the district. Some of these measures include classroom go bags, which contain emergency medical supplies. There's widespread AED placement throughout the district, and there are lockdown alert capabilities in many classrooms. Fourth, the district has implemented an anonymous reporting system through San Diego Promise Say Something system, which is invaluable. These strengths provide a solid foundation for continued improvement of the district's safety and security posture. The identified vulnerabilities were grouped into 3 tiers based on risk and potential impact to the district. The highest priority issues fall into 5 areas, and again, I'm just talking generally, not specifically. The first was emergency communication and radio capability. The district was found to benefit from a more integrated and district-wide communication approach, including interconnectivity with law enforcement. Number 2, crisis management consistency. The district has capable personnel and strong intent, but practices and expectations are not fully standardized across all buildings. Camera access and real-time visibility. The district's robust system of cameras was found not to be available to key personnel throughout the district. Targeted building hardening and security upgrades. While the district has implemented several initiatives to harden each building's envelope, additional areas were found to need attention. And number 5, visitor flow and control. The assessment identified additional opportunities to improve how visitors enter the schools, how they are directed, and how they are managed during the school day. The next set of vulnerabilities were classified as second-tier risk issues, and these include the need to improve the policy regarding staff-to-student electronic communication, and the need to reevaluate the classroom door policy. Number 2, the need to review vehicle-related safety and security near student movement areas. And lastly, to address the perimeter awareness and exterior surveillance issues. Other vulnerabilities were identified and grouped into a third tier of issues, including the need to address landscaping and district infrastructure that allows access to sensitive areas, as well as fencing and separation of student areas, the lack of a visitor management tool, and physical key control and incident coordination spaces. Based on these vulnerabilities, specific recommendations were provided, which were structured as a roadmap to address each of the observed issues. Those recommendations were prioritized by both risk and the district's ability to quickly implement those recommendations. Short-term recommendations included standardizing certain crisis management procedures, reinforcing consistent practices, addressing the most immediate physical issues, and conducting physical training that addresses the most likely crisis situations. Medium-term recommendations include more involved upgrades, such as implementing a district-wide communication strategy, strengthening camera coverage and video access, and addressing vehicle and traffic exposure points through planning and mitigation. Long-term recommendations include completing broader infrastructure improvements and fully building out systems and spaces that support incident coordination in each building, along with implementing a mature visitor management system. In closing, I'm aware that this presentation contains limited specificity, but I hope the broad categories provide a general understanding of the vulnerabilities identified and the recommendations provided. The district has a solid foundation in place, including a strong law enforcement partnership, engaged leadership, meaningful preparedness measures, and prevention-oriented reporting system. The assessment's recommendations are intended to build on that foundation by improving communication, standardizing crisis management, increasing real-time camera visibility, and strengthening visitor controls. I want to thank the district administrators for their assistance and their staff for their assistance during the assessment process. And thank you for allowing me the opportunity to provide this update.
You mentioned crisis management. Do you have any examples that you can share from maybe other districts that you've worked with, just as an example, or just shed a little more light on that for everyone?
Sure. Yeah, I think, a lot of times districts, and I'm not really talking about this district, but other districts want to just buy the shiny objects on the wall or a new product that is going to provide some kind of security. But to me, the most important thing is not those issues, but how you deal with the crisis when it happens. I apologize. Such as, where do the principals go in each building when the incident happens? Do they run to the event and try to help out? Or what I think they should do is come back into kind of a command post area that has access to the videos so they can see what's going on, communicate to law enforcement, and provide that information to the responders so they can deal with the problem. Another huge area is student and parent reconciliation. Plan for that ahead of time so that it's not a situation where you're trying to develop that on at the time of the crisis event. And so those are just a couple of examples of what I consider as crisis management.
Can you disclose what are some good systems in other school districts that you've seen in terms of visitor monitoring and tracking visitors?
Yeah, there's a lot of systems that not only track the visitors that are coming and going, but also make sure that those visitors that are coming in don't have active warrants, for instance, or other kind of legal process that indicate they should not be in the school. And they do that automatically. There's several different brands that do that. I understand this community is a little bit different because, most school districts in other areas, 99% of the people in that community have IDs or have driver's license, which that may or may not be the case here. And so implementing a strategy to do that in this district, it's going to be more difficult than others. But I think there's some ways that can be handled going forward.
Thank you. I can also share administratively, we were able to spend significant time together starting to work on prioritizing this, discussing whether it's crisis management protocols, prioritizing what are those things that we can both immediately implement and then also over the next 6 months, 12 months, and in the future. So more to come there and continue to do that. Just know that that work is continuing and your all's input will be an important voice in that as well here as we head into 2026.
The report takes a look at how the district's performing relative to its fall forecast, just makes its way down the table. This report marks expenditure and revenue variances relative to the fall forecast through period 5 of the school's fiscal year, so through November. Actual revenue received through November is within 0.5% of the district's forecast, with interest income slightly outpacing estimates. Expenditures are also in line with the district's forecast, with salaries and benefits slightly lower than forecasted, and purchase services slightly higher than the forecast. Overall, this has the potential to have a positive impact on the general fund's cash balance by the end of the school year, which is great news. And next month, we'll take a look at the tax budget here at the start of January. A couple other items in the Treasurer's report. There's a then and now to Town Hall tours for the field trip that they help support the school district with, and a recommendation to accept donated plywood, 2x4s, casters to the Highland Theater for the Willy Wonka musical. So, donation.
Need a motion to approve the treasurer's report on the
Make a motion.
I'll second.
any questions or comments?
Mr. Koblenz? Yes. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schroeder? Yes. Mrs. Clayton?
Yes.
All right, our new business here this morning is update 1 through 6. Number 1 is our second reading and official adoption of our 26-27 school year as we finish up calendar year 25 already. Looking at the next school year, calendar next year. First day of school is Thursday, August 20th, and then finishing up the last day is May 21st. And so appreciate the committee's work to try to creatively add just a few days in summer as a part of our classroom refresh
Yes.
Mr. Schroeder? Yes. Mrs. Quinn?
Yes.
Okay, one more new business item there, just separately there for our organizational and regular meeting there on the 9th. Just me and Julia as president pro tem, so that we can still, so we have somebody coming.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Mr. Copeland? Yes. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schroeder? Yes. Mrs. Quinn?
Okay, and then personnel there, 1 through 4. Number 1 there is a resignation for Amy Rao, and I want to thank her for her 25 plus years both currently in her role as testing and curriculum assistant, but also her years in the classroom as well. So thanks to Amy. And then our monthly approval substitute list updates from the Tri-County ESC. Number 3 is our list of spring supplementals, many of which are for our spring sports, and then also Highlands DC chaperones. And then number 4, just note the date or the year there is for next school year for naming Matt Beachy as our new head girls varsity soccer coach, replacing Connolly, who had resigned at the end of the year. So we're excited for Matt coming on board, and look forward to working with our students.
Need a motion to approve personnel items on the report, please.
Make the motion.
Second?
Questions or comments?
Mr. Copeland? Yes. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schroeder? Yes. Mrs. Quinn?
Yes. All right. The superintendent recommends that the Board of Education go into executive session for any of the following: to consider appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, compensation of a public employee or official, the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee or official. Details relative to security arrangements and emergency response protocols for a public body or a public office. The disclosure of the matters discussed could reasonably be expected to jeopardize the security of the public body and public office.
Second. Mr. Copeland? Yes. Mrs. Miller?
Yes.
Mr. Schroeder? Yes. Mrs. Quinn?
Yes.
Thanks, everybody. Everybody have a great Christmas. Thanks for being here.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion. Second.
Okay, all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you. Have a great Christmas.